sales of motor scooters soared.
But scooters can be slow, smelly, and dirty. At least they were before the gadgeteers got their hands on them where we live.
Motor scooters are great. They're cheap to buy, even cheaper to run. You don't need a special license or experience. But they're also slow, underpowered, and usually followed by a cloud of blue exhaust fumes. Clearly there is room for improvement here.
I've had 60-odd motorcycles and 100 cars, so I'm a transport guy.
And he's a member of the Vancouver Gadgeteers Inventors Club, making James Woodman the perfect guy to hot rod a motor scooter. And this is the substance he will be using.
We've got 3 amps and 10 volts about going through this cell. This is called brute force electrolysis.
By passing an electrical current through the body of water, James is producing oxygen and water's other ingredient, hydrogen. You may remember hydrogen from such historical disasters as the Hindenburg explosion. Oh, the humanity. That's the stuff James is extracting from water to use on his scooter.
Small motors, it works great. You get quite a bit of energy from it, and in the 2-stroke case, it does clean up the particulate matter by having a cleaner burn.
James has calculated that by introducing about 8% hydrogen to the fuel-air mixture, he can get an extra 1 horsepower out of his bike. 1 horsepower doesn't sound like a lot until you
have only 4 in your bike and get an extra 1 for $200. It's a great deal.
Theory is one thing, the real world is something else. James has nominated his girlfriend Sarah as test pilot. After all, it is her scooter.
More power, the better.
You can see why these two get along. First of all, a baseline to see what the scooter can do with the hydrogen system turned off. 9.57. And now with the secret weapon engaged. Wow, 8.8.
It took off way faster and smoother, and I could feel the speed build up.
And there was a lot less smoke coming out of the tailpipe. More power with less pollution, the very definition of win-win. David Kincaid, CTV News, Vancouver.
Some cool water in a little plastic container, a tube that connects it to the engine, and a dry cell battery backup that can heat up the water. According to this person from the city's GSS Institute of Technology, just add this contraption on and you can watch your mileage grow and your emissions reduced next to nothing.
It's an electrolyzer which splits water into its diatomic form, that is hydrogen and oxygen, which has been passed to the engine intake. There it enhances the burning property of the fuel.
We got a drastic change in the mileage before implementing our cell and after implementing. by around 11 to 12 kilometers we got the mileage.
Some modern day bikes are fitted with an expensive catalytic converter which burns the carbon monoxide produced and releases it as a much more healthier carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. But this happens at the exhaust pipe level. What you see in this variant is burning of the same carbon monoxide, but it happens at the engine level. That's why it burns fuel far better. That's your recipe to milk the best mileage out of every liter of petrol. All it needs now is a little refining.
We can use petrol, diesel or gas, and for that engines we can use water as an additive.
In our future plan, we have to run whole vehicle using water only. That's our future plan, and I think we'll succeed in it.
And with hardly any campus placements this season thanks to the global meltdown, these contemporary Ramar Pillais hope they can ride to fame on clean fuel once they attract a company that will fund their technology.